Hello, I am Mike of Near Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. This is Moonhopper 1. Which hasn't actually hopped yet, it's just landed. It's landed at the Great Flats. And I have had Kenmi go out and grab all the science that I could grab. Because I'm going to try and get all the science possible. However, there is an anomaly on Minmus. And I've gone and marked it with a great big cross here, and I've also marked it with a waypoint, which isn't actually showing up. I think that's because it's not a current navigation one. So here's the hopper, here's the anomaly. That's pretty much exactly on opposite sides of the planet. So, great going there. I might pick up the greater flats on the way. Okay. So I want to go check that out. Go to map mode. So as you can see, it's pretty much exactly on the opposite side of the planet. That's interesting. The anomaly's not shown up. Sorry, my waypoint's not shown up. I thought I'd put a waypoint down there. I wonder if I accidentally deleted it or something. Or forgot to save it, or forgot to apply it, or something on it. Use terrain height, set location on map. Is that about right? Hard to tell sometimes because I don't think the map isn't necessarily quite right. Bring up the big map again. And right click there. Thought I'd already done this. I'm just going to zoom in a few times. The reason I'm zooming in is so that I'll get a nice big map, so I get a very accurate latitude and longitude reading. Let's see, that's saying 23 and a bit. Goes to 24 and a bit, 22 and a bit. Let's pull out 23. 60.3, so that's about right. So we'll save that, which is what I think I didn't do before. So okay, so I now have, and we'll also activate it. So I now have a waypoint for that. Right, so I basically want to go east, east, this way, west. I think I want to go west because my two options are go to the greater flats, which are here, and there's a bunch of science I want to do there. Where am I? I'm on the Great Flats. Bring up the map again. I'm very confused about where I am. Yeah, so I want to go up to these are the greater flats, which I want to get to on the way. And then I can go there. So, 2 hops, 1 hop? Hard to say. Oh yeah, so the greater flats will be in here somewhere where you can't see them because it's dark over there. So I think, no, let's just do it in a one-er. Let's just do this in one go. So, right, so I will speed ahead until this is coming into daytime because I don't feel like landing at night. Do have the landing lights and all that, but still. Don't particularly feel like landing at night. So that's now just coming up onto dawn, so we'll do that. And this, so I'm not quite on the exact opposite side, because it's actually pretty much night where I am. Now, I had thought about turning my craft, because I'm used to taking off to the having that red line down the bottom, but I think I'll be all right. I just need to remember that I'm not hitting D. I'm hitting W to head west. Well, I wouldn't be hitting D. I'll be hitting A to go west. But I'm hitting W instead. All right, so I'm just gonna quick save just in case. Gonna get rid of the waypoint manager because I don't really need that either. So off we trot. I'm going the correct way. Good, good, good.
So off we head. I'm heading more or less alright. I'm beginning to think I actually should have gone the other way. It's kind of difficult to tell, you know, when they're so far apart, whether I'm closer going east than going west. So in the end, I went west. Yeah. Not convinced. I probably should have gone the other way, but never mind. My main issue here was making sure that I went over the mountains, because that's always, you know, and you can't really tell from map mode, you really have to tell locally, so pointing up just to make sure that if it all goes wrong, that I will be able to just go over. But, you know, I've got to find, you can see how high up I've gone. I don't need to go anywhere near that high. Just adjusting my course slightly, but it really becomes apparent that what I need to do is actually use proper maneuver nodes, which you don't normally need to do when you're doing suborbital kind of things. You certainly, I don't think you get to do this over the moon, but because Minmus's gravity is so small, it's very easy to get into orbit, and thus you have lots of time, which is the main thing. If you have lots of time, then it's worth doing actual maneuver nodes to get to where you want to go. So I even have it's even long enough that it's worth setting up a Kerbal alarm clock alarm to get there. You know, theoretically, yeah, that's a fairly big deviation from the orbit. You can see how much of a change I'm making, but with, again, Minmus, low gravity, thus low orbital speed, thus low cost to make big changes to your direction. Going around Kerbal, this would be extraordinarily expensive. Even around the Mun, it would be very expensive. But going around Minmus, not bad at all. I was aware that I was almost certainly going to have to make another correction later on, as I went closer and closer and closer, because obviously, you know, Minmus is going to be rotating underneath me and tons of stuff. So I'm making another maneuver there for that very purpose. I think, and I just use again more than enough time to just set up a maneuver node and get going. The traditional way of doing things. It was actually kind of relaxing. It was pretty simple. I don't know that doing something on a body even the size of the Mun would have been particularly pleasant. So I actually go beyond the maneuver node in that case. So I'm going at that moment anyway directly over the waypoint and the landing point. But again, you know, Minmus is gonna move underneath me, but hey. So I set up my landing maneuver, which is again is just really that's almost more of a timing thing to tell me when I want to start slowing down. So it's all going fine here, but it is so that's me setting up the leg balancing. Now that is me discovering I've added another camera mod which I haven't used yet, which you can add cameras to the outside of your craft, and that then becomes another camera that you can switch to with the V key. At least that's how I think it works. And docking ports come with a camera as standard, so you can do a docking from the point of view of your docking camera, which is all very well and good, but it's not terribly useful here. I actually overshot, so I'm actually having to point retrograde and indeed point towards the ground in order to, kill off my velocity. Because I'd completely overshot and going all sorts of stupid directions I didn't want to go. So here is it's just a case of aiming towards. Yeah, so that's what that strange black and white camera was. That was the docking camera, which I may end up using if I ever end up doing much in the way of docking. And you can also use the cameras for all sorts of other things, like a ground pointing camera. I think might be a useful thing to do to help kill your horizontal velocity. I think that might be a useful thing so you can really get an idea of how you're moving across the ground. So you have a camera that's pointing directly down. And you can set up space telescopes and other such funky things. But that's not particularly something I'm doing right at this second. And round about here, I discover that I have forgotten to put on a particular sensor that I actually really want when I'm going hunting anomalies, which is the BTDT scanner. Because the BTDT scanner is the one that tells you what anomaly you've got and starts giving... it will give that anomaly a name. So that's me searching for it. I'm as of now searching for the BTDT scanner. And it was just above the main control panel that I put together. But I think what happened was when I changed from Moonhopper 1 design to the Moonhopper 2 design, and this is the Moonhopper 2 design with that crew cabin attached. When I swapped to that, I took away the large holding tank because I decided I didn't really need that anymore. And I have a sneaking suspicion that the BTDT scanner was attached to that, and I didn't put it back. So this does not have a BTDT scanner. And that's a little aggravating, because that probably means that Moonhopper 3 on the Mun does not have a BTDT scanner. Which means one of the things I want to do, which is go and grab lots of... I want to go to all the anomalies on the Mun, and there's lots of anomalies on the Mun, and I want to get... I want the BTDT scanner to note them down and name them, so when they show up on the map, they show up as, instead of just anomaly, they show up as monolith or old abandoned airstrip or whatever. But looks like I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that. I may try and I think I might be able to do it with the attachment system and send a toolbox to the Mon hopper and maybe even the Minmus hopper with the BTDT scanner, which can then be attached to the craft. I'm going to have to see how that works. But that was slightly aggravating. So I'm now heading towards the waypoint, but it occurs... I eventually spot the anomaly itself. I see a small dark dot in the background. And I realise that the waypoint isn't quite as accurate as I would have liked. I'm using the hover script as well as my leg balancer, locking and unlocking the steering to give myself the possibility. See, there you go. There's the actual anomaly itself. You can just see that in that corner. So I'm using my hover script at this point to control my height, but I eventually abandon it so I can actually go down. Really need to fix that up, but I'd have to more or less write it from scratch, which is not a bad thing. So that was me getting rid of it and deciding I'm just going to learn manually at this stage.
But now I may well be able to just finish that off. There we go. Now, where's my anomaly? Let's just say we don't care.
I'm not going to speed this bit up, although maybe I should do. I'm not entirely sure why I thought that watching me stare intently at the screen while I manipulated the controls would be entertaining video, but that's apparently what I was doing. The problem is this is actually using a lot of my brain power because I've got to keep an eye on the vertical speed and keep that reasonable at the same time as checking my horizontal speed and try and manipulate that using the RCS. And that involves me looking at several different parts of the screen at once, and that always causes me confusion. So basically that's what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of making sure that I don't overshoot, so start going up. I don't want to go down so fast that I'm going to crash, but at the same time I don't want to be going down so slowly that it takes forever. It's just a lot of mental effort going on, so I clearly do not have enough brain power left over to say witty and entertaining things, which is a great shame. But there you go. This is another reason why I want to rewrite my hover script, so it'll do this part for me.
That was unnecessary. That did not help at all. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Why am I tipping? What's going on? 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 Why am I tipping? Why am I going in strange directions? Okay, not ideal. But there we go. 11.8 slope, which is not really ideal. And the spin at the end was to try and get more or less pointing into a direction I wanted to point. That looks to be another anomaly, another monolith. So there you go. I'm more or less pointed towards it. Oh, that's interesting. So I could, in theory, go for another wander. But I have actually used about enough delta V that I start thinking about maybe not doing that. Oh, I've got all the science I can get from that. I'm just going to see if there's any science here that I can currently do that's of any great use. A quick way of doing that, actually, is to so goo is worth doing, seismic scans worth doing, gravity scan. So I'll just do those. Anyway, so I have landed, hurrah. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to go have a look at the anomaly next time, clearly. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Come find Nearly Enough Dice at nearlyenoughdice.com. And until next time, reach for the stars.